Jordan Burroughs, the man, the myth, the legend. What is there really to say about him besides he's just amazing? 7 gold medals for USA, becoming the most winningest American wrestler ever, with 2 more attempts to go to win a gold medal at Worlds and another gold medal at the Olympics. Jordan has won a total of 10 World/Olympic medals, and when you can do that, it really says something. But we all know how awesome he is, but how about Team USA? If you haven't already seen my world recap, please go check that video out. But for the most part in that video, I just talked about USA storming their way through the competition to win a team world title, which was their second in the past 5 years. USA has been right there to win several world championships, and they are always in the hunt right there with Russia and Iran. However, that wasn't always the case for the US. Less than almost 10 years ago, USA really had 1 or 2 studs, and then to be fair, not much else was working out for them. Everyone on the team was really good, don't get me wrong. There was just a combination of things that just never really seemed to go in the US's favor. So in this video, I decided to do a deep dive in the past 10+ year era of Jordan Burroughs and the USA wrestling team, in their extreme lows as men's freestyle team, along with their extreme highs, all within the Jordan Burroughs era of wrestling. There has been rule changes, huge investments, weight changes, and so much more, and we're going to cover it all in this video. If any of that sounds interesting to you, be sure to leave a like, and also subscribe to the channel to help me grow the sport of wrestling. Also, be sure to leave a comment on your favorite era of men's freestyle wrestling. And now, without further ado, hi everyone, my name is Tanner. Welcome to TrueTan Wrestling, and now let's dive into the rise, the fall, and the rise again of the men's freestyle wrestling team, all within the Jordan Burroughs era. Now, this video is all about Team USA, don't get me wrong, but we absolutely have to give credit to Jordan Burroughs. I'm not saying he was the only factor, but he was the spark that really helped Team USA start moving in the right direction. To be fair, you need someone to watch to start building TV and streaming contracts, and Jordan Burroughs did just that. He came out of college being a 2-time national champ, winning his 2nd title his senior year in extremely dominant fashion. He would go on to stun everyone and make his first world team in 2011, and he would go on to amaze wrestlers by winning his first world title on his first world team, and his double leg shocked the world stage. And it especially brought USA Wrestling back to life. But on that note, how was the rest of the team during the 2011 campaign? Well, to break into the numbers, this was our first gold medal since 2008 Olympics, where Henry Cejudo also shocked the world and came out of nowhere to win the title there. But to finally talk about the 2011 team, honestly, they weren't that bad. Jake Vonner was the only other medalist placing bronze, and then we had 3 other wrestlers fall in the bronze medal match, sadly. Those 3 wrestlers were Nick Simmons, a 4-time All-American, Terrell Delagnev, an absolute heavyweight legend for USA Wrestling, and then surprisingly, Kel Sanderson, who came back to shock everyone after losing a bet to his Penn State wrestlers, but man, he still had it back in 2011. Sadly, he was just a little bit off and placed 5th place like some of his other teammates. It is also very key to note during this time period, we only had 7 weight classes, so the world stage was a little bit more deep than it is now. But on the same note, people just didn't wrestle as long back then. There just wasn't enough money in the sport. If you were a 3rd or a 4th string kind of guy on the national team or just outside the national team for USA, you just really didn't stick around. There was sponsorship deals, but there weren't huge sponsors keeping people in the sport for several quads, and there definitely wasn't RTCs backing up athletes as much as they do now either. So most of the time, people stuck around for their first cycle, maybe 2, and then they would just sort of move on to coaching or another profession. I bring this up because it really varied on who was sticking around with the team, and we never really got to see that many people develop. However, with Jordan Burroughs' explosion back onto the scene and bringing USA Wrestling back into the limelight, it sort of helped spark just the financial backing that wrestling needed for a long time. Then we moved to the 2012 Olympic Games, and we already saw a huge jump for Team USA. Jordan Burroughs would prove himself once again, winning his first Olympic gold and his 2nd gold overall. Jake Varner even upgraded to a gold medal himself. Another returner was Delagnev, the heavyweight superstar, taking his 5th place medal and moving it up to a bronze. However, this was due to someone ahead of him popping for steroids, so he didn't get that bronze until a couple years later. But in my eyes, still a bronze medal, and he repeated 5th place, so still pretty good. North Carolina now head coach Coleman Scott would knock off returning world teamer Reese Humphries to make the team and place bronze at the Olympics, so So yeah, that was a total of 4 Olympic medals in the long run with 2 golds and a really good team, honestly. The team still had 3 wrestlers not place or miss the medal stand, so there was still some room to grow. Plus, one thing to note, the Olympics and World Championships had the same number of weight classes, so there wasn't a huge cut down like there is now. Then we hit somewhat of a fall for Team USA. I would like to say again that all of these world teams are very good, and if you've made a USA world team, you're a stud. There were just some major factors that hurt the team. For starters, Jordan Burroughs would take home his 3rd gold medal, and no one could figure out his double legs or attacking pace. However, even with that huge highlight for the team and an NCAA loaded team, Jordan Burroughs would be the only medalist for Team USA. They would gather a total of 2 5th place finishers and an 8th place finisher, and then 3 of the 7 not placing at all. A clear down compared to years past, but USA proved that guys can still win it like Jordan, and some wrestlers could still reach medal matches. Then moving a little further into 2014, and this is where things really started to become concerning. We gained some NCAA superstars like Tony Ramos from Iowa, Ed Ruth from Penn State, Brent Metcalf from Iowa, and Jimmy Kennedy from Illinois. Unfortunately, all of the names I just mentioned would fail to place, even with some of them having a year or 2 of experience on the team. I will be honest, a lot of them did have pretty rough draws entering this tournament, but even our 2 superstars in Jordan Burroughs and Jake Varner would fail to make the finals. However, they would place bronze and show that they can still medal at the highest level. It was nice to see Varner back on the stand, and hopefully this would be more of a growing moment for Jordan and Team USA, because this was a clear downgrade for the team, but they were somewhat young with only a little bit of experience throughout. As I move into 2015, there was one thing I failed to mention. That was the addition of another weight class, moving the world stage up to 8 weights. This minor change sort of helped our 2015 team really come out with a bang, with 2 young stars really starting their career off right. James Green, a several-time All-American for Nebraska, who is now a cadet and junior USA coach, will gather his first world medal at 70 kilograms after making the team in dramatic fashion and finishing in bronze on the medal stand. We also saw the start of an amazing career in Kyle Snyder, making the team at the age of 18, taking out several-time medalist and champion Jake Varner that we have mentioned several times up to this point. He would then go on to beat one of the best ever and join Jordan Burroughs on top of the gold medal stand this year. Kyle Snyder starting his freestyle career with a gold and Jordan taking the spot back over at 74 kilograms really showed a huge rebound for the team and the fall from 2014. 2015 gave a ton of momentum in the Olympic Games in Rio for 2016. One thing that is really key to note is that USA was starting to get extremely competitive, with David Taylor and Kyle Dake nipping at the heels of Jordan Burroughs for the past couple years. However, we would have a really wild Olympic trials, with David Taylor and Kyle Dake both bumping up to 86 kilograms, which at the time was a huge weight bump for them. Every weight at this trials was extremely competitive, especially with it moving back to 6 weight classes. Jordan Burroughs was probably the only athlete to just cruise to his 2nd Olympic team. Brent Metcalf's career would unfortunately end with Frank Molinaro getting the upset win in the first round to make an Olympic team at 65 kilograms, along with Dan Dennis, who would knock off a fellow Hawkeye Tony Ramos at 57 kilograms to make his first Olympic team and only team for that matter. Delagnev would be back on the team, followed by another upset kid in Jaden Cox, who was still in college at Missouri, defeating Kyle Dake in the finals in a best 2 out of 3 that was absolutely bananas. So with such a wild and deep 2016 trials, how did USA do at the Olympics? Well, after an amazing 2015 World Championships, it really wasn't anything to hold our hat on. Jordan Burroughs would lose in the 2nd round to the eventual silver medalist from Russia, and then sadly lose out to finish in 9th place, which was a really sad moment for USA fans. Dan Dennis would fail to medal going 0-1, and Delagnev would lose in the bronze medal match to take 5th. However, even though the man who sparked freestyle wrestling in USA again was out, it was not all bad for the team. Young star Kyle Snyder would prove himself again, winning his first Olympic gold medal. And then there was also former mentioned Jaden Cox shocking the world, placing bronze at an extremely tough weight class at 86 kilograms. So yes, 2016 didn't go very well for Team USA, but it wasn't all bad. Then in 2017 though, I think we saw a real switch in the guard. For starters, having a champ in bronze isn't bad for only 6 weights, but it was not the standard for USA Wrestling. There was a ton of questions leading to 2017, and USA had a ton to prove after their performance, especially with it moving back to 8 weight classes. One thing that I'm not really sure if anyone noticed, but even with young stars entering the team, only 1 or 2 really found success on the world stage. Well, 2017, we finally found a young nucleus to roll with. Thomas Gilman would make his first world team after a heartbreaking NCAA season, and he would become a world finalist placing silver. James Green would be back to a more healthy 70 kilograms, upgrading his world bronze to a silver. Nick Witowski, the NC State national champion, would make his first world team, beating some heavyweight stars to make his first world team and finishing with a bronze medal. Jane Cox would beat David Taylor in dramatic fashion to make his first world team, finishing with another bronze medal to add on to his Olympic bronze. Then our two frontrunners stepped up once again. Jordan Burroughs would come back to prove he is still the man, winning another gold medal after a tough Olympic run. Kyle Snyder will win his third gold medal, beating Russia's probably best wrestler ever in Sadulayev. The crazy part about that match is it all came down to that one moment. Yes, USA did it this year. They would win the 2017 World Championships, taking out Russia and proving to everyone that they had a core of wrestlers that could finally get it done. After hitting an extreme high in 2017, 2018 came with some huge momentum. Unfortunately, USA would not win this year, but there was still a lot of high moments. There was 3 gold medals between Kyle Dake, David Taylor, and Jaden Cox, which was all really helped by the addition of 2 extra weight classes. This is where the Jordan Burroughs versus Sidakov drama started, and Burroughs would lose this match, but he would go on to do the next best thing and place bronze. Along with Joe Colon also placing bronze, winning his first and only world medal at 61 kilograms, which was crazy because he was the alternate, but regardless of that, he would gut wrench his way to a world medal. Snyder would finish in silver, which was clearly a downgrade and unfortunate, with Sadulayev getting revenge over him. Kyle Snyder was very young at this moment, so I really wasn't worried then, and to be honest, he's still young now in 2022, so I think we'll be alright with Kyle Snyder. Gwiazdowski would also repeat medal, placing bronze, which was a very nice highlight for his career. Then of course, there were some downs on the team that led to us not finishing in first. Thomas Gilman would place 5th, which was down from his silver medal, and Green not placing really hurt the team in the long run. However, with that said, we were keeping our nucleus and still growing as a USA team. The same stories were true for 2019 for the most part, but due to some injuries and guys losing their spots, it wasn't the best showing as before. Burroughs finished in bronze once again. Kyle Snyder lost in the semis and didn't even make the finals, so he finished in bronze as well. Dane Fix would finally knock off Thomas Gilman to take the 57 kilogram spot, but he would fail to place. Tyler Graff beat Joe Colon out for the 61 kilogram spot, but would downgrade USA to a 5th place finish. Cox and Dake would repeat their titles, but unfortunately David Taylor would not. Taylor was injured this year, so we would not get championship level points like we did in 2018 at the weight. At the end of the day, the year before the Olympics is a tough world bracket, especially at Olympic weight classes. But this was another downgrade, and once again the alarm bells started to go off for Team USA. Except there was almost no reason to set the alarms off. Thomas Gilman would retake his spot after joining the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. Gilman would lose his first match at the Olympics to Agoyev of Russia, but he would come all the way back, smashing his opponents to place bronze. Kyle Dake would finally dethrone Jordan Burroughs, and he would go on to get upset in the second round, but find a way to place bronze, being a very tough Frank Tremizo in the process. David Taylor would be back looking healthy, and he would win his second gold and first Olympic title over the very tough Iranian Yazdani. Gable Stevenson would finally smash his way onto the scene, and he proved himself in bunches, winning a dramatic finals match to take home gold at heavyweight. Then Kyle Snyder would once again make the finals after his bronze medal, but unfortunately dropped another match to Sadulayev, finishing in the silver spot once again. However, similar to Thomas Gilman, I thought Kyle Snyder looked way better than when he finished bronze in 2019. The Olympics doesn't have an official team race for wrestling, but Russia would win just by the skin of their teeth, and it all came down to Sadulayev Snyder again. I would like to say though, we did not qualify 65 kilograms, but of the 5 weight classes that USA did have a representative, they went 5 for 5 on the medal stand with 2 gold medals and 3 finalists. The Olympic performance of these athletes for USA was truly amazing, and it really showed that this group was the it factor. They headed into the 2021 World Championships with honestly a lot of hype, and they were for sure the favorite, with not a lot of countries sending their best guys. The hype train clearly showed, with Gilman taking gold, upgrading his bronze for the Olympics, Jordan Burroughs bumping up to 79 79 kilograms, taking gold. Kyle Dake upgrading his 74 kilogram bronze at the Olympics up to a gold medal. Jaden Cox was back on the team and he would finish in bronze, and honestly, USA just had a squad at the 2021 World Championships. It once again came down to Snyder versus Sadulayev, and it did not end in USA's favor, but Kyle was not getting blown out by any means, so he was clearly still growing towards defeating Sadulayev once again. Then of course we move into the year 2022, and I already recapped this event, but 8 medals, tying the most in USA history, and winning a world team title once again. There's been some lows, but these extreme highs for Team USA really outweighs all of it. USA will be returning all these studs until at least 2024, but for now, USA is only going to get better and better, and we can all thank the spark in the beginning of this long journey. Well everyone, thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed my walk down memory lane within USA wrestling history, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more. If I missed some of your favorite world teamers, be sure to comment them in the comment section below. And with all that said, I had a blast making this video, so I hope you all had a blast watching it, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.